Welcome to the Vaaler Insurance Company's animation, Charting Practices to Optimize Resident Safety. The purpose of the medical record is to document complete and accurate information regarding the resident's assessment, interventions, resident response to the interventions, and care and treatment. It's a legal record, and under your professional license, you're required to document clinically pertinent information related to resident care and treatment. The medical record is also required for legal, regulatory, billing, and quality of care compliance. Documentation challenges are often related to not following facility policies and procedures related to documentation. Gaps in documentation can include incomplete documentation, inaccurate documentation, or documentation that was not completed at all. In looking at legal claims and regulatory challenges, often there's a gap related to policy and procedure and actual practice related to assessment, interventions, care planning, monitoring, and communication. Let's review some documentation best practices. Good medical record documentation includes documenting clinical decision-making, elements of the nursing process, including assessments, interventions, monitoring, and communication, and a resident-centered plan of care. Chart assessments and care concurrently. This helps to avoid incomplete or missing information in the medical record. When documenting in the medical record, use specific terminology regarding the resident's care and treatment, including measurements and descriptions of any injuries or changes in condition. So, for example, if the resident has a new skin injury, you'll want to document size, color, location, drainage, any swelling, circulation changes as examples. You want to avoid imprecise descriptions such as large amount, bed soaked, found in a pool of blood, resident has an egg on their head, which may mean different things to different individuals. Good medical record documentation includes follow-up assessments and monitoring based on the resident's clinical condition and facility policy and procedure. For example, at many organizations, there is a documentation policy that includes the charting will be completed every shift for 72 hours after a resident injury or change in condition. It is also important to document the effectiveness of resident intervention and the resident's response to those interventions. And of course, good medical record documentation includes correct spelling, grammar, punctuation, and the use of approved abbreviations. A complete medical record includes communication with physicians and other providers, noting with whom you spoke, resident information provided, and orders received. It's also important to document communication with family members or others that are legally responsible for the resident, noting with whom you spoke and information shared. Document resident and family teaching. Document discharge instructions, and document complete transfer communication. A structured format such as SBAR, Situation Background Assessment and Response, is recommended. It is important to document a resident's refusal to take a medication or allow a treatment. Obtain information about why they are refusing, if possible. Ensure interventions are in place to support resident-centered care and document these interventions. Note in the medical record who you informed about their refusal. Document accurate information about an incident or injury event, including assessment, monitoring, interventions, actions, communications, and the resident's response. Include relevant comments from the resident and family regarding the event, such as, "My family brought my new glasses yesterday. I am having balance issues since I started wearing my new glasses." Ensure that documentation regarding the event is factual, concise, and complete. Avoid assumptions, opinions, or accusations about the care and treatment. Don't blame or criticize the resident family, other care team members, the facility, or other healthcare organizations in the medical record. Thank you for joining the Vaaler Insurance Company animation today on clinical documentation. Remember, accurate and complete documentation is an important part of safe resident care.